This is my 45 caliber mountain pistol. I've had it for about 45 years. I've shot untold numbers of shots with both shot charges and solid bullets out of this thing. And I've shot some really heavy loads in it too, so it's pretty strong. So I've got a shot charge in it now. I didn't weigh the shot. I used I think it was a 3.4 cc scoop of shot. So I don't know. That's a pretty good shot charge for a 410, I guess. And this being a 45, it's pretty close to that. It's actually a little bit bigger than a 410, but anyway. So I've got some homemade white powder in it, and I made it several years ago, and at that time it worked, but it required that you use a pretty sizable charge, and that you have some compression on it and some mass. In other words, it wouldn't work with a blank charge. You had to actually have a bullet or a shot charge over it for it to work. Otherwise it just acted like rocket fuel. And I tried it in my little tiny miniature cannon earlier, and although I used one of the 20 caliber BBs that came with the cannon, I used the term BB advisedly. It's not really a BB. It's a 5mm steel ball bearing is what it is. But anyway, I used one of those, and it did eject it from the cannon, but it did not go boom. It made like rocket fuel. So, but I made this stuff, this powder, a few years ago, and it's clumped up and everything because it gets really humid around here. So we're just gonna see if it goes boom or if it rocket fuels. And I'm using a plastic cap. Maybe it'll light, because this stuff I think is more difficult to light than black powder. But I'm using a plastic cap gun cap with a booster charge of 4F black powder underneath it. So let's try it. I figure if it works at all, it'll probably be a hang fire, but might as well try it. Interesting. Well, okay, that did not work. We're going to try it again, but this time still the same powder charge, of course, but I'm using a real cap, an RWS 1075 cap, and again I put a booster charge of 4F black powder in the nipple, because I feel like this clumpy old white powder, if it's going to go at all, it can probably use the booster charge. So here goes nothing. Well, that was pretty cool. And you can see what it did to that can. Huh. Steel case 45 ACP. I just found that on the ground. It's been rained on. I'll have to try that in my converted. Okay, let's try one more shot. This is with a solid bullet, about 245 grains, home cast, and I'm using it with full charge of the homemade white powder, along with a small booster charge of homemade black powder. So a booster charge is a charge that goes underneath the main charge and helps to ignite the main charge. You know, gives more complete ignition. And I'm hoping the homemade black powder will do that. So, for a cap, I also put a primer charge of the same homemade black powder in the nipple, and then put a plastic toy cap on top of it. And so what a primer charge does is increases the intensity of the primer. The primer lights it, it makes a bigger flame than the primer makes, and helps to ignite the, in this case, the booster charge, which then ignites the main charge. So we're going to see how that works. And like I said, 245 grain solid bullet. Now I did bring some regular caps with me, store-bought caps, just in case that doesn't light it off. We can give it another shot. But hopefully it's going to work. So here goes nothing. Alright. That did not work, so time to try it. Man, that should have worked. It sounded like a pretty good snap. But time to try it with an RWS number 1075 cap, which number 1075 is the same size as a standard number 11. So hopefully that'll light it off. It should, because it lit off the regular just straight up charge of the white powder. Okay. Boy. That white powder does not smell like black powder. I don't know, it seems like there was a little bit of a hang fire. Actually, I know there was a little bit of a hang fire, but it seems like without the booster charge, there wasn't so much of a hang fire. So, I don't know. But anyway, it worked. Unfortunately, it did not work with the plastic cap. I guess that calls for some more experimentation. Thanks for watching.